What if I told you there's one exercise you can add to your routine to experience greater growth in your upper body? I'm talking about improved bench press, I'm talking about improved rows, bicep curls, tricep pushdowns, you name it. You want to find out what this is? Make sure you stay tuned. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to yet another video. And this video is something I had planned for a few weeks, but life just got in the way. I couldn't figure out what video I wanted to do next, but I think this video is probably the most beneficial video, especially everyone getting back to the gym, new routines. There's one thing that a lot of people neglect, and that's the smaller muscles.
You're a lazy fucker.
In this video, I'm speaking specifically about the scapula, but not just the scapula. Okay, so the scapula helps support the shoulder blade, helps keep you upright. It's the difference between having rounded shoulders and being nice and upright. Remember the term winged scapula? If you've heard of winged scapula, that's exactly what it is when it pushes out. I can't even do it, but so strengthening the scapula, which is responsible for literally the two moves of the bench press, protraction, so protraction, and retraction. Enough about that. I'm going to get into the nitty gritty. The serratus anterior, which is the muscle right about here, basically helps stabilize your scapula, help keeps it in position, help keeps it nice and strong. So I'm going to talk you through a series anyway of different exercises, different progressions of the same exercise you can do to keep that nice and strong, improve your bench press, improve your bench press, train pretty much injury-free, and also improve pretty much all upper body movements. By the way, when I say all upper body movements, what I mean is when you're doing most exercises, that whole shoulders back and down is impossible without a strong scapula, or without a scapula that has the ability to support that position. If not, you'll do it for one bicep curl, then you'll start pulling the shoulders forward. And when you start pulling the shoulders forward, even in a bicep curl, you are lessening the tension on the actual muscle. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. So here we are with scapular push-ups and a few different variations. I'm going to start with the easiest variation first. Obviously that makes sense, but also just drill a few points as well. So what you want to do is you want to keep the lower back flat. You want to keep the hands about, I'd say, about shoulder width, maybe just a bit less than shoulder width, but you want your hands pretty much underneath the shoulders at least, or a tiny bit in front. And if you're doing a knee version, your knees more or less underneath your hips as well. You don't want your knees together like this. And all you're gonna do is looking straight down, keeping the core nice and tense, no arching lower back. What you can do is come down into retraction, and then when you push up into protraction, you create space between the scapula. So you're gonna breathe in and then breathe out. Also, you wanna externally rotate the shoulders a bit as well. Not too much, but if you don't feel this specific variation as much and you find it's too easy, don't worry, I've got you covered. But make sure you can do between 12 and 15. I'll say about 15, very comfortably there. And if you are doing it with full control, you should feel it here, right in that rib area where the rib meets, where it feels like the rib meets the lat. And yeah, that's your serratus anterior right there. Okay, so the next variation you're gonna do on your toes, on your feet. So similar to a push-up position, well, very similar to a push-up setup in general. And you can, like I said, you can have your hands in front of you a tiny bit. You want your feet together. You want to squeeze the glute, tuck the tailbone in, keep the back nice and flat. And you want to push up away from the floor a little bit. And then you want to turn the elbows out, turn the shoulders out slightly, turn the elbows out as well. So turn the elbows in, sorry, not out. And you want to maintain this position, push away from the floor. You'll feel this even a tiny bit. Then you want to come down, keeping the arms dead straight. You don't want any bend in the arm. Push straight up. And again, breathing. You want a nice, slow and controlled move. By the way, the reason I'm sweating already, it's like 33 degrees in the UK right now. I'm baking. Yesterday was 36, so the house is just boiling, and the sun is shining right through right now. So that's the second variation on the hands. I'm going to show you the third variation, but this is a variation you can only start to add when you've got this completely covered. This is band scapular push-up. Okay, so here we have a band. We have a nice and light band. You don't want to go too far. So what you're doing with the band, put it in your hand, put it on your back, upper back, and then you want to be in the same position. You want to get comfortable, make sure the band's not flinging around. Exactly the same position, push those hands down, squeeze the glutes, look straight down, tuck the tailbone in, and you're going to come down. And you're going to do reps. There is a slightly harder one than this. There's not really much point in me showing this, but some people might find even a band or might not have a band and might want to excel. If you don't have a band and you want to excel in this movement, I suggest getting a band. But if not, if the band's way too easy, or you just want to try a different variation without adding any equipment on, you can do, I can barely do any of these, one-handed scapular push-ups. So, hands down, you're going to put one hand behind the back. All you're going to do is exactly the same, keep the arms straight and push straight up. Squeeze the glutes. Even just holding the initial position there, I feel that a lot. Like the whole scapula's fried on the left side now. But the way you can add these into a warm-up. So warm up, then when you begin to activate the muscles, this is where you're going to put this in. If you don't have a warm-up routine or activation routine, I did one a while back, you can watch that by clicking the link above. But I think I did include that in, I'm not sure. But I do include these in like 99% of my client programs and 100% of my own. The only time I don't include these in client programs is if they've got any specific injury which is preventing them from actually even being able to do this. But this is a seriously good move to strengthen those shoulder blades. You will notice the connection when you're bench pressing, or when you're doing push-ups, so much more in the actual chest when you develop a strong scapula. Honestly, like the last few months, I've noticed, I've been really focusing on the scapula, but I've noticed a significant improvement. I always suffered from a small chest before. I've still got a small chest, but it's going to get a lot bigger now my injury's gone. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, give it a massive thumbs up. If you have any comments, any questions, comment below, happy to answer them. And if you have any additional questions, or maybe you want to take up a program with me, take up some coaching, adam@adamscottfit.com, drop me an email. My site will be launching very, very soon. I'm doing a full revamp. At the moment, it's just a single page, but I'll keep you posted on that. And until, if you want to follow me on Instagram, @AdamScottFit as well. I post different content there all the time, never really post the same content. Until the next video, keep pushing those limits.